everyone, and welcome to episode 56 of United City Randomiser. So since the last time we met, which was around the Benfica-Stuttgart time when we lost in the Champions League in a very, very poor, slow, short game, should I say, and therefore decided to play another game on the episode against Stuttgart, which we then got a very disappointing 2-2 draw in. I think having been up in that game by 2-0, I believe. I can't remember now. But that was really disappointing. We then went on a bit of a run, which was okay in the look of it. But there were a couple of close games in there in terms of 1-0 against Nürnberg and also against Ingolstadt in the Cup, where we really struggled to get through, but in the end we did. You can see we got a winner in the 98th minute. So it wasn't all brilliant, even though we got a few good wins there. And then in the last couple of games, to be honest, it's gone backwards slightly and the momentum's gone again. We got a draw against Hamburg, which wasn't a terrible result. I mean, they're sitting, where are they currently sitting in the table? Let's go and have a look at them. They're in 9th, so they're a mid-table side at the moment, which isn't, it's not a terrible result, but it wasn't a great result either. But it just slowed the momentum down. And then we came to play Copenhagen in the Champions League group stage, which I honestly thought we'd have a decent chance of getting a good result from at home. But we didn't, and we lost 1-0, and it was, again, really, really disappointing. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag, but all that means in terms of our league positions, both in the Champions League and the Bundesliga, you can see in the Champions League we sit 3rd with 2 games left, but we are in touch with Monaco above us. So we've got Benfica and Monaco still to play, and we do have to get some results against those two, which is going to be really tough. But we've still got an outside chance, I would say, of trying to get into that second spot and trying to qualify. In terms of the Bundesliga, you can see that Mönchengladbach above us have played their 11th game, and so have Dortmund. So we've got a game in hand over them, and we're sitting 1 point behind Dortmund and on level points with Mönchengladbach. But then we play the next team down from us, Bayer Leverkusen, in 4th place. So it's a real top-of-the-table clash, both playing our 11th game, and one or other of us can really cement ourselves at the top of the division if we get a decent result. So it's going to be a really tough game. They're a decent side on a good run of form, obviously, but we are at home, so that aids us, I would hope. In terms of the rest of the setup for the season, things are going okay. You know, the players are doing okay. We got some decent average ratings in and amongst them. Finances are dropping a little bit as time goes through the season, but I kind of expect that. But prize money at the end of it always props us back up into the good area again. You can see we started quite high up in terms of finances this season, and we remain so, really, at 64 million in the bank in our balance. That's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. So things are going well there. Injury wise, we've got a couple of little injuries, but the main one, if we go and have a look, that's not the one I wanted to go to, this is the one I wanted to go to. Let's go to our tactics page and see what the situation for our side is. So the big injury that we've got is Richard Kabul, the goalkeeper, who's out for only a week from this point, but will miss this particular game and maybe one more, and that's slightly disappointing. You can see that I've rotated the side around a little bit here and there and got people playing. This is primarily our second 11, and today we're going to play our first 11, obviously, against a real top side in the Bundesliga. So we'll go in and just check what that's done in terms of conditioning of the players selected. And you can see mostly we're fine. I'm even happy for Wilson to be on the bench, even though his fitness is slightly down because he's come back from a knock himself. But Kabul is the big problem. So we're going to have to bring Unbehauen in and play him in goal instead. And he's doing okay when he plays, but he's not quite up to the level that I would want in terms of Kabul is a better goalkeeper overall. But yeah, he was brought in to replace Kabul when needed. This is a time when it's needed. So today's team is going to be, and I nearly said Kabul in goal, Unbehauen in goal, Klunter at right back, DeMarco at left back, Gimber and Kempf in central defence, Gomez is the deep-lying playmaker, Siflidis as the supporting central midfielder, Gravenberch the attacking Metzala role. We've got Gundogdu on the left, Obando on the right. Flip those round. My mind's gone to mush. We've got Gundogdu on the right, Obando on the left, and we've got Jovic up top. And the bench has got Horacio, De Silva, Saiki, Mount, Schweiger, Wilson and Rollheiser on it. So that's the team for today against tough opposition. Let's see if we can really try and cement our place in the top part of this table as we currently speak. So let's get into the game and see what happens. So you can see that Leverkusen have got some really decent players. Luis and Tonali as their defensive holding players in their 4-2-3-1 formation are really good. The supporting players in the attacking third are really great. Vinicius Junior, Havertz, Ocampo. That's going to be really tough to stop them. So we've got our work cut out for us today. We're going for our 4-3-3, but we could change that to the gegenpress if need be later on. They look as though they're going to be quite hard to break down in the defensive area, but there's some gaps in the middle of the pitch that hopefully we can exploit. So in terms of our team talk, I'm going to go quite assertive. I'm going to say I fully expect you to keep our run. No, I can't say that because we've had a bad game in the last couple of matches. Show me what you can do to keep our run going. It doesn't make much sense, but it motivated a bit. And so we'll go straight into kickoff. It's our home game and they get kickoff. So we'll see whether the highlight leads to anything. No, we cut it out. Can we counter on them? No, we can't quite. But at least we stopped them in the first instance. A corner for them in the first couple of minutes of the game. And boy, are we up against it now. Oh dear. So the corner went to the back post, headed back across, and there was a attacking player just sitting right in the middle of the 6-yard box who taps it home, and there was no issue for them at all, was there, on that one? We defensively didn't do well enough. There's the header back, and you can see the guy sitting straight in front of our goalkeeper that just taps it past him. And we are 1-0 down within 2 minutes, which is really not good. And then they hit the post on a free kick. Oh, we're going to have some fun today, I feel like. But yeah, not a good start to the game. 7 minutes gone and we've had nothing ourselves. Possession is fairly equal, but we've had no attempts of any sort at all. And they've had a couple that have really challenged us, if not beaten us already. So that's going to be really tricky to come back from, but if we can keep it 1-0 for the next couple of minutes and just find our way into the game, hopefully we'll look better as the game progresses. But very disappointing so far. Almost too early for us to really have got going in the game. Really, they just caught us cold and went one up, and here they go building up from the back. Found to Vinicius Junior on the left hand side, who runs with the ball, but Siflidis gets a foot in, and that's really great. Klunter has the ball in the right back position, and we begin to move it ourselves. Can we keep the ball and work our way through what seems to be quite a high press by their attacking midfield line? But Siflidis moves it onto Gundogdu, who doesn't find space to run, but we move the ball around, and then Ocampo gets in ahead of Gravenberch and puts it through to Henrique, and they're 2-0 up. And from a position where we had the ball, but we weren't able to go anywhere because we were being really well pressed, we tried to pass our way out in terms of a slightly longer ball, and it was intercepted by Ocampo. Finds Henrique, who hasn't got a defender man marking him, which is very disappointing. Too much space, and powers the shot home, and we are now 2-0 down in the lead up to half time. If it's still 2-0 and we're not looking any better by half time, we're going to have to change something at half time, because we can't allow this to continue into the second half. But look at these ratings: 6.1, 6.3, 6.4. It's just not good enough at all, and you can see that they've been quite dominant in terms of shots. We've had more possession, but have been able to do literally nothing about it. So before we go into the team talk, we're going to go into the tactics, and we're going to change to the gegenpress and see if we can counter attack them and press them higher up the pitch and gain the ball back higher and put them under some pressure, hopefully. But there's no guarantees of that at this point if our players are not going to play any better than they currently have been. It's been very disappointing. We're going to move Gomez into the holding position just because he plays that slightly better. But yeah, it's about time that we did something in this game. So that's the new formation that we're going to play and tactic. We're going to go into the team talk, and we're going to have to be aggressive, aren't we? Aggressively tell them I expect to see a much better performance from them. And that has upped some motivation and fired them up a bit. So hopefully that will send them out in a better way in the second half. But the first half was genuinely awful, considering that we're trying to play against a top level opposition and trying to stamp our place in the top part of the table, and it's just not looked good at all. So here we are in the second half, an opportunity again for them to build up from the back, which they do quite comfortably. They get out of any press that we had on them. Vinicius Junior, Havertz, they're playing the ball one-touch football quite nicely at times to open the space up. And even our pressing isn't able to get an actual foot in, but it did at that point, and again we lose the ball. It's just not sticking at all today, is it? None of our players are able to maintain possession and work the ball quick enough to get past their offensive press. And when we do, we get it up to Jovic, and he didn't hold the ball up. And you can see that they had another opportunity then, but it went out for a corner. So here comes their corner to the near post, but we clear it. Jovic on the ball. Can he find a player to pass to in some space to main possession? He's run a long way and got us right the way down the pitch for a throw-in. Here's an opportunity to see their latest attempt on goal. Enrique has the ball at the top of the penalty area through to Ocampo, but it was a good save by Unbehaun and poked it round for a corner, and then Jovic ran clear with it. But you can see that we're still not playing well, and Klunter at right back is having an absolute mare, so we are going to have to change some stuff in a minute. Let's do that now. I'm not going to wait. So Klunter's going to have to come off. We haven't got a natural right side defender replacement, but we'll put De Silva there, and he'll just have to cope. But look at all of these really awful ratings. I'm so disappointed. So Gundogdu's coming off, and Gravenberch is coming off for Mount, who can play that role better maybe anyway. But yeah, really disappointing that on a really big occasion at home, they're just not showed up at all. And we're being dominated by a side that really we should be giving a good game to and a good run for the money. But there's an opportunity to get one back, and Jovic, I was almost slightly distracted by making my point that I wasn't paying as much attention as I should. But Gravenberch with a nice pass through to Jovic, but it's still got a lot to do, but finds a little bit of space out wide and then cuts the shot back in on his right foot and puts it low past the goalkeeper. And all of a sudden, we've got an opportunity to potentially get back in the game. So we're going to confirm the changes that we made, even though they hadn't been made before the goal, just because they were the right choices to make, I would suggest. And see whether in the last 15 minutes or so we can at least get one more decent opportunity to try and get something out of this game. But yeah, you can see that their ratings are better, but their conditioning is low. So hopefully they'll run out of legs a little bit and we can take advantage of that in the last 5 minutes of the game. But nothing seems to be happening, does it? They've had loads more shots than we have. Possession's been average for both sides. But there you go, final whistle. Really, really disappointing. Batando picked up a yellow card at the end of the game. Not really sure for what. We picked up a couple there, didn't we? But look at these stats. I mean, they had 18 shots on goal. We had 6. On a home game, was not good enough. 50-50 possession. Our average ratings were really, really poor. Theirs were a bit better. And it's just one of those days where we just really were disappointing. So we're going to have to tell them that. So assertively, I'm not happy with your performance out there. So we'll leave it at that, with a few of them fired up and motivated, and we're just going to have to go and see what that's done to the table. What that's done to the table is put us in 4th. But having said that, it's very squashed up there, isn't it? There's 3 points separating the top 5 from Wolfsburg up to now Bayer Leverkusen, who overtook us all because they won that particular game. So yeah, what's that going to... Bayer Leverkusen go top of the Bundesliga. We don't. Very disappointing. And it's what happens, isn't it? It's bizarre because I had a good run of games, and then you come back for an opportunity to show you guys what's been going on, and it just falls apart in front of our face. It's what happened in the last episode. So we're going to have to pick the next one quite carefully just to see what it is that we can do. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have to be brave, and we're going to have to play Benfica on the next episode, aren't we? Because that's an opportunity, hopefully, to stay in the Champions League if we can get a decent result against Monaco. So that's when we're going to come back. We're going to come back and play a really tough game against Benfica, and then we'll probably play Hertha at the end of December just to close off the calendar year before we have a little bit of a midwinter break. So that's the next couple of episodes, but I'm so disappointed by today. I mean, look at, it's a decent run that we've been on this season. We're obviously in the top part of the table, some good wins. September was a decent month, but there's a couple of those spots, isn't there? And both have hit the episodes, and it was the Benfica Stuttgart, and then now the Copenhagen and the Bayer Leverkusen. They've just been really poor. So yeah, there we go. I'll stop rambling about how poor we've been, and hopefully we'll change our fortunes in the next couple of games. We've got a couple of decent Bundesliga games surrounding some really tough Champions League games. So we'll see how we go, and I'll be back for Benfica. So if you're enjoying the series, why not chuck a subscribe on the channel and keep up to date with the videos. If you like this particular episode, why would you? It was awful, but that's what happens. But if you did enjoy it, then why not chuck a like on the video? That'll help me get seen by other people, which is really helpful to my channel. Until next time, though, if you're playing Football Manager yourself, let me know how your save is going on in the comments below. But until we meet again for the next episode, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.